A week after couple adopts baby, doctor gives them unexpected news. Sarah and Andy Justice had been married for over 3 years and wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. They were both financially stable and had a beautiful home in a family-friendly neighborhood. There was one thing, however, that they still wanted to have: a child. The couple had been trying to have a baby for years, but luck wasn't on their side. For some reason, they couldn't get pregnant, and doctors didn't know why. Sarah had fallen into depression due to her inability to get pregnant, and Andy hated seeing his wife sad. He wished he could give her what she wanted. They both knew it wasn't their fault, but it did poison their marriage. All of their friends had multiple children at that point, and they had none. So, they decided to undergo fertility treatment as it was their only chance at having a family. Little did they know what they were in for. The pair lived in a small town in Oklahoma. So, searching for a fertility specialist was especially difficult for them. However, they eventually found a doctor who lived in St. Louis, Missouri. Sarah and Andy drove 6 hours to Missouri to discuss their options with the doctor. But, sadly, they wouldn't get the news they had hoped for. The doctor said that Sarah couldn't conceive normally. However, there was one other thing that they could try. Andy and Sarah could try an IVF, but it only had a 10% success rate. There was another problem with this method, however. Sarah and Andy still had a lot of options at their disposal, but those weren't ideal. Eventually, they decided to give adoption a try. But sadly, that wouldn't be so simple either. Before the couple was allowed to bring a child home, they would have to apply through an adoption agency, which could take months. And even if their application would be approved, they still had to pass a home study. Although Sarah and her husband knew the process could take years to complete, they still applied. Finally, after several months, their application got approved, and they passed the home study. Now, it was time to go through the interview process. But their struggles were still far from over. The couple endured a series of stressful interviews with prospective mothers and still had no idea what the outcome would be. Fortunately for them, one woman decided that they were a perfect fit for her baby. Sarah and Andy supported her through her pregnancy every step of the way. Just as Andy and Sarah thought their dream of having children was coming true, the birth mother announced she had changed her mind about giving them her child. She decided to keep her baby, and her decision was final. The couple was heartbroken, but there was nothing they could do about it. After some time, they decided to try again. The couple began the interview process for the second time and found another prospective mother almost right away. She chose Andy and Sarah to be her baby's adoptive parents. But then, she also changed her mind and decided to keep her child at the last minute. Although the pair were devastated, they decided to try one more time. Just when they were about to give up their dream, they got a call from another pregnant woman. She wanted them to adopt her baby, and things would be different this time. The birth mom kept in touch with Andy and Sarah and even invited them to accompany her during her first ultrasound. But they weren't prepared for the doctor's announcement after the scan. The doctor put some jelly on the woman's abdomen and probed until an image came up on the monitor. Almost immediately, he spotted something strange on the scan. His face went pale, and he began to take measurements on the screen. What did he see? The doctor had discovered 3 babies in the woman's belly. Sarah and Andy were going to have triplets. Sarah nearly screamed when the doctor gave them the news. Finally, they were going to be parents and have a big family.